as most of you guys are probably already aware, thanks to Expansive Worlds, we have early access to the Ambusher pack for just a couple of days before it comes out on October 10th. And after one video with it, that video came out Friday morning, and a stream Friday afternoon, I wanted to give a bit of a kind of summary of this pack regarding the 3 items. So obviously, the Moradi Model 1894 lever action. This thing is awesome. I think it was the expected best part of that pack. The takedown recurve actually has a couple of really good niches. Because it only takes up 2 units of capacity, and because it can actually equip a sight, it's basically just like having a lighter compound bow, and it even fires compound arrows. So for those of you that like to carry a bow in your loadout but have it take up too much space, this is actually a really good option for that. Obviously, the 44 lever action just punching through both lungs and both legs of that caribou there. But then finally, the e-collar. We used this a good bit on stream, and I actually really do like it. I'm not sure it's going to be something I carry a lot because it is quite heavy. But there are definitely uses, especially for alligators, which we're going to look at a little bit later. It can be quite nice to have, so throughout this video, hopefully that summary will play itself out, but for those of you that haven't seen much of the pack and just wanted to get a brief synopsis, that is kind of my review thus far. Now, the real reason I actually chose Yukon for today's video is I want to use that e-collar on some Grey Wolves and just kind of see how that works, but before we get to that, there's some bison out here, and I want to take a look at what the 44 lever action can do on a broadside bison. So we're going to try to avoid the shoulder, want this shot when his leg is forward, right in the crease, and he's going to go aggressive. But my main curiosity is, can we double lung a bison? This isn't going to be ethical. Bison are class 9, the 44 is ethical from classes 3 to 8, but he's going down pretty quickly. Like, I would say comparable to shooting it with the 300. And I guess if these moose aren't going to spook, we'll maybe make use of it one last time here. No surprise, punching that straight through to the heart. In this case, double lung, liver, and stomach. So we definitely lucked out in hitting that particular spot and getting the liver and stomach in there. Ends up with a 27% quick kill. I imagine double lung is 0%, but even still, just being able to do that is absurd. And I don't think we even need to try to demonstrate it. Obviously, frontal, you can punch through the heart. One thing with bison, if you're above them, using like say the 300 to 338, you gotta be really careful going for that frontal heart shot because you're kind of going through some additional neck flesh shooting downwards, and that penetration of the 44, I think eliminates that particular part of it. So should that opportunity arise at some point, and maybe we can get that to happen here, we'll maybe attempt a hard shot, but I have no doubt it can be done. So we have this guy's attention. We're not in that kind of upward angle that I mentioned. See if he'll kind of lift his head out of the way a little more. That is going to be a hard shot. See how quickly he's going down? The 44 is not quite as powerful as the 300, that is for sure, but being able to do that is pretty absurd. Heart, lung, and liver on that moose, and pretty cool. Our first attempt at a bison heart shot 150 meters out, straight through the heart. One thing is for sure, there are going to be very few angles that the 44 can't actually make the shot on, and I would hazard to guess the 300, if we did exactly that, stop shy of the heart. And again, this isn't something you can actually hunt, at least ethically with the 44, but if you're trying to just wipe out bison maybe for a bison grind, I might consider carrying the 1894. But we used this in all of yesterday's video, a decent part of the stream, and I do want to actually focus a little bit on the recurve and the collar. So what we're going to do is swap to wolf drink time just to make it a little bit easier to find them, try to call some in, and see what we can do with the recurve and the e-collar. So we've got a pack of wolves about 150 out here. We're going to go ahead and place the e-collar. I went around the water, so hopefully they don't kind of get stuck on the water's edge. We just place that there, and then go to the Grey Wolf Call, which happens to be the first one. Oh, there's 2 options. I imagine it doesn't matter. We're going to go with that, and see if it starts to bring them this way. Now, sometimes breaking things out of their zone can be tough, so what we may do, if they just want to stay there, is actually swap in between the calls. Because they're just kind of sitting there for the moment. So what if we try going to Distressed Deer? Oh, we're calling in a different pack of wolves, I believe. That's coming from the right, and he kind of knows we're here. He's pretty close, so why don't we go with the recurve here? Not even going to use the range finding sight, just going to use the dot that's there, and we've got some aggression. So my thought kinda was to use the 44 if the situation arises, and we may just need to. We also may just need to heal before we get to that. I'm hoping the entire pack's aggressive, because... Oh yeah, they're coming. Okay, this is quite possibly the perfect gun for this. And we're gonna see how we can do. We've got a 6-round capacity. Would help if we reloaded before we came down here. Meanwhile, that rabbit caller's just playing back there. Trying to just avoid getting killed on this. Might have finally gotten to a point where we can actually just start to take some out. Still aggressive. But I don't want us for them to actually end up fleeing. I mean, look how quickly they go down. When you can get that frontal shot, it's punching through lung, liver, probably stomach. They have no chance if you can kind of just get a minute to get back away from them. I think we just killed them all. And it started by a completely different pack or maybe solo wolf coming into that call. So it took a little patience. But it did bring them all in. And we even had an additional one. I mean, skull, brain, neck, and halfway through the lung. That is nuts. You know what? We can actually turn that off from here. So why don't we just do that? Rather than having to listen to it the entire time. Nice little part about the range on it. I think it's up to 200 meters you can turn it off. Missed the brain there. Then got lung and vertebrae as it actually fell. I want to find that one. Yeah, this one. That we shot frontal. Lung, liver, stomach, and intestines. And we saw. We got an additional shot there too. And did it again. It had no chance. I doubt it ever made it more than like 2 steps after that second shot. Now this one, I'm not sure if he went aggressive or just kind of moved this way. This is the one that we shot with the recurve, and I'm not even sure, did we use... Oh, this was the second one we shot with the recurve. The second shot was the 44. The first shot was at 6.5 meters with the recurve, and we hit in the skull. So that's actually not the first one. The first one we hit right there, and he ran off that way. So let's grab our collar. And he really did not go far at all. I believe I had the correct arrows equipped. I definitely wasn't ready for all that to happen. That was the 420 grain arrows. Lung and liver at 17 meters, not a bad deal. And again, being able to have a bow like with the sights, with the compound arrows, which is an interesting discussion that we can maybe have on that topic some other time. Because the spine of the arrow could definitely be into question. However, obviously the sight takes up some storage capacity, but to carry this for only 2 units, it's pretty nice to have that in your loadout, especially when you do want to do a little bow hunting or just silently take something out that's maybe in your way. I don't know that this was a good idea. I don't know, maybe it's just through the brush that wolf looked a little bit light in color, but we kind of set ourselves up to have these wolves end up right on top of us. I can hear footsteps up to our left, so just gonna keep the recurve ready and try to get eyes on them before they end up seeing us. Got one right there at 17 meters, so if we can get this, and that should bring it down. Actually, that went to fleeing. They may not go aggressive this time, in which case, we might swap to the 44, see if we can maybe get one of these guys on the run. That's a level 5 male. Think that's gonna be good, and you can see immediately that health starts to go down. And this has been the biggest takeaway for me with the 44. Having that confidence at those quartering away, quartering 2 shots. You have so much penetration with those rounds, you really don't have to worry about getting that shot exactly right. If you're a little too far back, it punches through the stomach, liver, and into the lung anyway. So I think this was the one we shot with the 44, and actually in that case, we weren't too far back at all, just double lunged it. But again, there's confidence there to go for those types of shots, which I really do like. We go for that kind of stuff a lot, especially on some smaller animals. Red fox, bobcats, things that can be kind of hard to spot and therefore often get spooked. And with the weaker calibers, it's not nearly as sure a shot. There's been very few times in this early access period where the 44 hasn't somehow found a vital. This was our recurve wolf, double lunged out as well. Pretty darn cool. So what I also want to do is show what I think may be the biggest kind of feature of the electronic collar, and that is being able to bring in alligators. Now, we talked about on stream, it can call in crocs. Crocs are pretty easy to hunt. They're generally in the wide open, and for the most part, they aren't difficult to actually spot. Gators, on the other hand, not so much. So let's see what we can do with that. Now this is something I have not messed with at all yet, and what I really want to know is, can we actually call them out of the water? So the actual calling range of the e-caller is also about 200 meters, so we're going to go ahead and get this going before he gets further away. And it's basically imitating a baby alligator, so let's kind of see if he starts to swim this way. He did just turn around. Maybe he is coming in, so we're going to try to find a little bit of cover. I wouldn't mind attempting a recurve shot here. However, it's maybe not the best idea. They'll go aggressive now too, so I guess it depends on the range. I want to try it if he does in fact come all the way out of the water. You know, it's really slow. Just, they take their time swimming in. But I do believe we're calling in both of these male gators. Now, the wind is awful. You can see that guy went attentive right there. We may end up attempting a shot in the water, which wouldn't be my favorite thing to do. But I am worried we're just not going to get him all the way into land. He's still moving this way, so we'll just stay covered for now. And now he's up to alert. We just can't quite get a recurve shot in there. So I guess we try this. And no surprise, the Model 1894 punched through to the brain. That's another one of those angles. Alligator skulls are basically a bullet stop. It can be tough even to get that. Not in that case. That's all the way through, basically above the shoulder blades. Pretty darn cool, and we got to see for sure they were coming in even from the water. So should you spot a legendary gator that's out there, and maybe you have better wind than we just did, rather than attempting that low percentage shot that we just did, you could potentially just call him in and get him that way. I think that second shot's going to be a vital. First shot, I just wanted to see if we could maybe somehow kind of clutch a brain shot there. Let's see if he pops up out of there. Actually, looking like maybe we didn't get the vitals. I wonder what we could have hit. I noticed out there's a raccoon nearly 400 meters away, which seems like something we should at least attempt. So with the Argus scope on the Model 1894, 400 meters when zeroed for 150 is just a little bit low with that third mil dot. So question is, where did it go? That's it right there. This is going to be a tough shot, and because it's a very slow moving round, we got to lead it by about a mile, so don't want it really trotting. Oh, we hit it! That's going to bring that one down, unlike the gator, which I think could survive it. Let's go and see what happened. I have never seen anything like this. We have everything from quail to fox to pigs coming through here. I had a big quail track, so just quickly checking through. Nothing crazy there. One of these pigs was pretty decent size. There was a max estimate 4. Don't really know where it got to, but okay. Haven't seen that animation before. And there's still just stuff going everywhere. But we lucked out. I couldn't find the tracks from that raccoon we shot at distance. It happens to be laying right here. It was 376 meters. A little bit low, but considering how much we had to lead it, we'll take that. At least, I wouldn't say it's extremely consistent shooting that far, especially something that is on the move. But at least you have that option of going for a longer shot. Okay. If we could have got the right weapon, that would have been nice, but I guess they're just getting stuck in the water, kind of like bobcats over on New England. That'll bring that down. We'll just go and grab our other one first. And we'll try not to get too crazy with hunting pressure, but this one was liver and left lung. Not too bad. 100 score and a gold, 114 meters on the trot. And what I wanted to do was shoot that pig kind of like as it was running away with the 44 and see if we could punch through to a lung, which I kind of think we could have. We get to see the recurve's effect instead. So, first shot, kind of makes sense. It was high, we were 0 for 60 right into the vertebrae. Second shot, intestines and pelvis, so maybe not quite as insane penetration as the 44. And I can still hear stuff just running all around, but this is simply delaying the inevitable of us trying to get a gator with the recurve, so I think we'll just kind of let these guys do their thing and go see if we can call one in. By the way, there's that one that we hit as it was kind of running into the water. There's maybe no gun I trust more right now to make the shot than the 1894, so gotta try to get right around the eye. That's gonna do it. We can figure out what happened. if you can't tell, I really like the 44 lever action. So first shot, oh, we just missed the brain. I mean, just like a millimeter too far to the right, it looks like. So close. And actually, if you notice there, the second shot, I guess he actually was just doing his dive animation to go underwater. We didn't hit him. So the water actually stopped that bullet. Otherwise, I still think it got the lung. Our follow-up, though, right through the brain at 148 meters, ends up getting us the gold. I gotta say, you bring that combination, the E-collar and the 44, I think you could do pretty darn good gator hunting, but I still want to get one with the new Recurve. You know, we might just have a chance here actually at getting two. It's insane to see these things coming into a call, but we've got this female around 35 out. All of a sudden, the male's actually going to trot in, though. And I think actually the female is too. I wonder if he's far enough to not hear this. It's got to be really close, and he may go aggressive anyway. Let's just try to line this up. That looked good. She's going to go down just about immediately. Did the male flee from that? Oh, he didn't. That's pretty cool. We should be able to at least get a shot into both. Now, what I will say is, if you're especially trying to bow hunt gators, there's basically two options now. Either you can try to crawl into range, or use the collar. Frankly, I think this is not only more effective because you don't have to worry about not being able to see him, as this guy's just jumping on top of the female there, but also, I think it's a little bit faster, especially when they start trotting in like this. It's really easy to have them come in and cover a decent bit of ground. Did we just do the same thing? I kind of think we heart shot both. We'll soon find out. But that was actually pretty cool. No aggression at all needed, just regular calling them in. Heart and double lung on the male gator, 378 gold. There was even another one. Looks like a female out in the water. That one we won't worry about too much. The female, because of how quickly they went down, should be about the same. I hear footsteps. May have one attacking us. That was heart and double lung. That is pretty amazing. That the Recurve can even do that? This one's not aggressive. It's just chilling here for some reason. We'll just go ahead and try to take it out at that angle. Did that punch through to a lung, though? Because it kind of doesn't look like it did. No, that's vital blood. So interesting, if you get the heart, and I guess heart and double lung, they basically get down immediately. If you don't, you gotta wait a little bit. Kind of interesting that arrow is just kind of sitting there. I think it's more or less just kind of stuck. Ended up shooting kind of up through, like right under the shoulder, into that right lung with plenty of room to spare. 241 silver, obviously being a female, but it is pretty cool to see. You know, again, as I mentioned, this is the star of the show. The Model 1894 is going to be a loadout mainstay, I think, for quite some time. The Recurve, though, and the electronic collar, they definitely have their place, and I think I might have left that back there. No, we got it. So at least we'll be able to have that with us for a future hunt, and I believe now you can place one per map. So if we left this here, if we went to Latent Lakes, I think we could equip another one, and so on as we go to other maps. But I thought it was pretty cool today, not only to see the electronic color work well on the gators and the wolves, but also the Recurve. Every shot we took, I'm pretty sure, other than maybe that one that hit the wolf in the skull, ended up being a lethal hit. And again, the weight of it, and allowing it to equip a sight, certain loadouts, especially if you want to carry a bow anyway, definitely it can be kind of enhanced by bringing that. So I suppose if we can get a shot at this one final gator here. I think we just shot a tree. Second shot ends up in the heart because why wouldn't it? And I think it'll be our last kill of the day. So definitely this time getting to look at a little bit more of the entire pack rather than just the 1894 like in yesterday's video. Oh, that was a neck shot actually. And again, absurd penetration at any angle. You could go for stuff like that. And I think that's going to be really nice to have that alongside something like maybe the 300, 243, and 22. Those four guns make for a heck of a loadout, and you can swap that Recurve in there now, again, because of that coverage, and still have all the guns that you need. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.